Hey everyone, Sage from Sage Light Healing here. I wanted to jump on today and say happy Ostara or happy spring equinox. We are officially at the cross quarter days between the shortest day of the year and the longest day. So today we have an equal amount of both sunlight and night. And from here on out, our days are going to be longer than our nights until we get to summer solstice. So anyways, the energy's been shifting. I feel like things have really settled after the last week or so of chaos, and I feel like we are ready for something new. I don't know, there's a new message coming through for someone. So we're going to work with my chakra cards today because I just feel like they have a lot they want to say, and we're going to see what comes from here. Okay, so right off the bat, we pulled holistic health. This was right side up. We pulled communication in reverse, so we're still dealing with some communication blocks here, but we pulled inspiration. I really love this card. It just, I don't know, I feel like it drives home like the light is shining on something new. So for those of you who are, I usually do my readings, they're usually for psychics. I'm the psychic who helps psychics in need, but it's also for healers. This particular message feels very much for anyone who has been called to the healing path recently. I almost feel like actually for some of you, this might be literal, not just spiritual healing or energy healing, but I feel like there's a lot of you that this might resonate with that is in the nursing industry. Like this feels very, very literal. This is just kind of a confirmation, or you're thinking about getting into nursing, or you're thinking about starting some kind of energy, some kind of healing work. Like this feels like a career start. So not necessarily people who are well into it, unless you are thinking about you're already in the industry and you're thinking about taking a new direction. This is all about this is an active step in this path. So for anyone who that resonates with, this is a confirmation for you. You've been thinking about taking this step, and you are here to be a healer. You are here to help others. And I really just want to say you need to go for it. I feel like you've been kind of waiting for the sign. You've been thinking a lot about it, this new step, this next step, whatever it may look like, but you've been kind of sitting on the fence. This is your sign. You are supposed to go for it. You are ready to take the step down the path to be a healer, whether it's the traditional healing in Western medicine, whether you're doing spiritual healings. The block in the communication. So a lot of my readings have been a continuation, but I want this to be something fresh. This does not necessarily, it feels like you aren't, okay, these are, obviously it's all related. You know this next step that you need to take, but you aren't listening to your gut on how to do it. There is some doubt here. You're kind of hesitating to take the leap. This feels like you're not listening to your guides or those around you, maybe like a trusted advisor. Do you have people telling you that it's time to go for it, and you're having a hard time receiving that information. So they really want you to, like this, again, this is coming through like a validation message for whoever this resonates with. This is your sign. This path that you have been considering, this step is right for you, and now is the time, and you just have to take the leap. The good news is you are feeling inspired. Like, I feel like you are seeing the world in a whole new way, and there's a lot of excitement. You are very excited. There's not like a hesitancy because you're not sure it's what you want to do. I think your hesitancy is more about, are you sure you can do it? And the answer is definitely yes. But you are feeling inspired. You're seeing the light, so to speak, and that's a good thing. And anything that sparks that creativity, that joy, I feel like all about finding joy has been coming up a lot in my readings recently. And it's really like joy is the gauge for us on how to figure out if the path we are on is the right one, right? When you're not sure, like ask yourself, like, okay, so when I do this thing or when I think about doing this thing, does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, it's probably not the best path for you. I won't say that it's, you can't go down that path, but you really want to use joy as kind of like your meter. Okay, this felt like neither up nor down, so we're kind of in this like neutral zone, but the good thing is that it's on the horizon is your peace. I feel like once you make this decision, I feel like you've been going through a lot of turmoil trying to decide when's the right time, how do I do it, is this the right move for me, am I ready? I feel like once you commit to it, your headspace is going to just come back to this place of quiet. In a good way. Like you're gonna, like all of these like inside thoughts that you've been really struggling with are going to just, and you're gonna commit to your path, and that's really beautiful. So in addition to finding your joy, also what brings you peace, you know? So if there's something about, and I don't feel like it is with this step in particular, but this is more about just like an exercise and really gauging and listening to your gut. If you think about something, you think about doing a step, or there's like a job you're in right now, and when you think about it, it brings you anxiety, it brings you stress, it doesn't bring you joy. So like joy is like the positive affirmation, I should go in this direction. The negative of that, like the reverse of like I need to leave this behind, is how much does it stress you out? How much anxiety does it cause? If it's causing you anxiety, then you have to protect your peace, and you need to live your life and leave that behind. And I feel like you're coming from a situation that brought you a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, and it was a lot of working through murkiness, and you've settled in what you've been doing. And like I said, for some of you, you might already be in the nursing industry, and maybe you weren't satisfied in the role that you were in, or the company you were with. And for some of you, you might be new to the healing industry, the healing work, and the work you were doing before that, man, just stressed you out. It didn't bring you joy. Determination. Okay, you are a very determined person. You are somebody who, when you finally, this really just feels like, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, like, this is really just, you just got to go for it. You are a determined person. When you put your mind to something, you are an achiever. You've gotten yourself through a lot. So why with this new move in this new direction, you're like, I don't know if I can do it. Why would you even question that? Man, this is definitely a validate. This is just like, this is a hype up message coming through. They're like, why would you even question that? Like, you can do anything. You have done everything you put your mind to. So this isn't a question of, can you do it? Why are you even having that question? Just go do it. Just take that leap. You know, it's hard because when you're going someplace that's completely new and you have to start from scratch. So we pulled inner child in reverse. Let me finish my thought. When we're going someplace completely new and we feel like we're starting over, even the most confident people can have that moment of hesitation. But they're really like, but why are you hesitating? Like, it doesn't matter if you don't have all the knowledge yet. You're going to learn the knowledge. Do you know how you're going to learn the knowledge? Because you didn't have all the knowledge for whatever position you're in now, but you learned it and you mastered it and you're on top of your game. This message is definitely, this isn't for people who are, you're not struggling in your current role. You've mastered it. Whatever industry it's in. You are on top of your game with wherever you're at, but you're on top of your game enough where you're like, okay, well, I don't really need to worry about my next step just to take care of myself. I need to worry about my next step of what do I want to do, which is a great position to be in. You've come out of survival mode, right? We need to leave that survival mode behind. You're in a place now where you can focus on what you want and really listen and answer that higher calling. So I want to talk about this. Inner child, we pulled this in reverse. This feels like there is an old wound that got recently reopened for you. And I think this is literal. I think this is a childhood wound. This very much feels like, I don't know, a memory surfaced, or someone came back into your life, or something came up that you would suppress. This definitely feels like you have not thought about whatever this is in a very long time. But just because we don't think about it doesn't mean it doesn't linger here, right? So childhood traumas, like this is all heart chakra center. So this is something that has been kind of weighing down on your heart chakra. This is the thing that triggers your random sadness, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing like you're someone who you're doing all the things, you're a go-getter, you're go, you are making everything happen, but you get these sad moments. And it almost feels like mourning. I don't know. I think you have a hard time following your joy because I think your joy was robbed when you were little. Something happened, something, I don't know if it's like death of a parent or I mean, this is like something heavy. So I'm going to name some stuff. And if it resonates with you, you do not have to share with me. I just know that this is, again, validation that this message is for you. This feels like death of a parent, or grandparent, or like parent-like figure. It could also be abuse. It could be abandonment. It doesn't even have to be death of a parent. It could be like divorce and then like one of your parents walked out on you. Like there's something there where as a kid, you felt you had to take on the responsibility. You had to step up and be an adult at a very young age. And you stopped thinking about what brings you joy because you got in responsibility mode. So this message for you now, the reason these memories, these emotions are popping, because I'm sure you're wondering that. First of all, we just had an eclipse. We are in shadow work time right now. Usually the eclipse energy lasts for like 1 to 2 weeks. We also just entered, I don't even know, Mercury in retrograde just started, but I think we're also in Venus in retrograde or Mars. I don't know. There's a couple in retrograde. Anytime something goes in retrograde, it's usually a time of purging, of letting go of old energies, stuck energies, getting things moving. So the reason this is popping for you right now is because in order for you to be effective in this line of work, in this higher calling, you have to be able to recognize and heal yourself first. In any capacity, and so signs that this trauma is still stuck in your heart chakra will be physical, indigestion, constantly feeling you've got that weight on your chest. You might be someone who is really prone to getting like pneumonia, like, you know, in that kind of lung area. You get the heart flutters. You might be somebody who gets really jittery. I don't want to say, you know, the big heart attack, but like if you are somebody who has recently had any kind of scare like that is all signs of a blocked heart chakra, and it all stems back to this emotional trauma. So they very much want you to work on healing this. You don't have to do it all at once. Bits and pieces, and you can pick whatever modality of healing you are most comfortable with, whether that's traditional talk therapy where you go talk to someone, there's sound healing. Me being a Reiki master, I'm always a fan of Reiki work. There's somatic healing, which I have not experienced myself personally, but I've heard it's incredibly intense in a very good way. So just start thinking about what ways would help you release that. Because it's been weighing you down for a long time and you don't need it. You don't need to hold on to it anymore because you don't need to be in survivor mode. You don't need that armor on. You don't need to be feeling constantly like you have to protect yourself. You're moving into joy mode. And in order to experience joy, you have to release the things that were responsible for removing it in the first place. You have to visualize. This is such a beautiful card. So part of why you're ready to take this leap, everything is lined up for you. What they want you to do now, and in one of my previous videos, we talked about how we just jumped into a new timeline. Like we've shifted. We're in a brand new timeline, brand new you, literally. In order to make what you are working towards come to reality, it's really very simple. You don't have to do a whole lot. You feel like you do, but you actually, like, it's a lot less than you. All you have to do is visualize what it looks like, feels like, sounds like, smells like all your senses. Put that into envisioning this reality for you. Whatever this new role is, whatever this new step is, just, and if you're like, well, okay, but I'm taking the first step, so I don't actually know where I want to go with it, that's okay. Just visualize what the first step looks like for you. That's all you have to do. You don't have to know the end goal. You just have to know what it looks like. And picture the emotions of being in this new role, this new position, or taking on this is definitely like a career shift. So in case any of you guys were wondering, this is definitely about career. They want you to visualize what that feels like, and just put yourself already there. Because if you're already there, then you've already done the work. The timeline just has to catch up with it. So this is literally the best time possible to make what you want happen with minimal effort. You just have to visualize it and do the shadow work to release the stuff that was holding you back previously. That's part of the old you on the old timeline. It's another reason it's coming up right now, because everything that we don't want to keep with us in this new timeline just has to go. So these cards have a lot to say today. All right, I feel like we're gonna pull, it feels like there's 2 more coming. I don't know why that's such a specific number, but that is what it feels like is coming. Ooh, that almost like dumped everything. These feel like the 2. Okay. This is this is like a push-pull. So this is, you have to find a balance between these 2 things. The nice thing is these both came right side up. So they're not saying you're having a hard time with it. They're just saying that you need both for the next step. First one is grounding. You need to do what you need to do to stay grounded. The next one is flexibility. So like I said, it's like one is saying stand strong, stand firm, stand tall. The other one's like, you got to be able to bend with the wind. There's a Mulan song there about being, like strong as the tree and fluid as the water or something like that. But what they're saying, to ground yourself in your new position, your new timeline. There's a lot that just came in all at once. You very much have to, one, like I said, act as if you're already in the position doing all the things, because that's what's going to bring it to you. But do it with confidence, do it with knowing, ground yourself in it, immerse yourself in it, okay? Just don't leave any room for doubt for yourself, because you can do it. You know you can do it. You just have to actually take that leap. And know that you have a support network around you, that those are your roots. They'll catch you if you fall. And then the other part of this is like, okay, so as you move forward, because you don't know, like you only see step 1, right? Like we just talked about, you don't know the final end game. You're like, I'm just taking this first step. You don't know all the steps that are coming after it yet. They're going to reveal themselves to you. That means when signs come, like, okay, I've taken step 1, and then you see some kind of sign that pops up that says, oh, we suggest going this direction with it. Just follow it. Even that's not like, you're like, I didn't even think about that. They're not saying deviate from your plan, because what they're doing is they're adding layers into the plan. So it's not like you're going to start on this path and then there's going to be like a sudden left turn and you have to completely change where you're going. That's not what they're saying. It's more like we're going to add levels in to this whole new career step for you, this whole shifting into your world as a healer. So just be open to these new things as they come, because we're going to start to layer them in one by one by one. So just have some flexibility in allowing new stuff to come. And if something really, if you do take a step in a direction, it really feels like it doesn't fit quite right for whatever reason, just be flexible and adaptable in changing that. And your abundance will be coming. Sorry, I really feel like there was one more. You're questioning, there is some fear around your finances with this. Makes total sense, because this is a career change. Whatever this move is for you, you're like, how is this going to work? They're like, you don't understand the abundance you are going to be stepping into, actually following the path you're meant to be, actually answering your higher calling and stepping into the healing world in whatever capacity that looks like, is going to bring you more literal money, then you're not even know what to do with it all. Make sure you give back to the universe. That's always like when the universe gives to you, not even back to the universe, pass it on. I'm not saying you have to pass all of it on. I'm just saying, like, if you literally have so much money, you don't know what to do with it all, help somebody else in their next step. Pass on the good energy that has been passed on to you. But look at this card. Look at the abundance. Look at the gold. Look at how beautiful that is. This is what's coming to you, stepping into this. You don't have to worry about it, okay? All right, I'm going to hit time there. I'm a little over 20. Oh, 21. I've been having a lot of doubles lately with on the timer. So I'm going to stop here. If you guys have any questions or if this resonated with you, just give me a shout out. I'd love to hear like what your healing modality that you're going into is going to look like. So yeah, leave a comment, send me a message. And again, happy Ostara, guys. I'll be back soon with the next one.